always had Mary's back. Even when people were plotting against her, ignoring her.
Sister Wife, Season 19, Episode 22, First Impression, and you defended your friend, right? Okay, but at this point in the episode, we find ourselves at Aurora's baptism, and this is basically going to be about a 5 to 6 minute lesson on how to improperly insert yourself into someone else's special day and totally disrespect the beliefs they've chosen. But first, a little background, because this is different for them, because obviously when you're within the AUB, the Apostolic United Brethren, which is an offshoot of fundamentalist Mormonism, you still have some similar rules. However, a few of them were raised in like the mainstream situation, and in the mainstream situation, baptism occurs
when you're 8. The idea is that that's when you know kind of really what's good, what's bad, right, wrong, and that's when you can be accountable for those decisions.
8 years old hits pretty young. It seems like it could open the door to some other things that are not the greatest. But anyways, continuing on. And then a little bit of background with these kids. These kids are also, including Robin's kids, because there's rules about you have to adopt them and have the other dad out of the picture to be able to seal them to yourself, but you can only do that if they weren't sealed to the previous father, and Robin said that she didn't do that. Robin's kids, as far as this is concerned, were baptized a little later than that age restriction and that cutoff. However, it was an episode. They got baptized, they got sealed, Kody laid hands with all of like the male members of their family. It's the whole thing. I do believe, if memory serves, he got in some trouble for that because that is a very private, sacred thing. Kody even goes into some of the rules with this. Like if a hair comes above the water or your foot pokes out, you have to do the entire thing over again. So walking into this situation, and it's a totally new set of beliefs, new ideas, all of this, he decided that, you know what? Let's make this about me.
Women are baptizing women, you know, in my religion, it was male's authority, men's authority only, you know.
Declare Alexandra, get me my elixirs. I'm having palpitations. Women. Let's continue with the clip while I calm down.
She gets into this tub and like Kody talks in her ear.
I just whispered the baptismal prayer in her ear. I very respectfully threw back to my beliefs with her baptism. I wanted to feel that I was covering the ground for what I believe and for what Aurora and her congregation that she shares this belief with believe.
It's not about you!
Here's the thing, we're all sons of our life experience, even young people. We evolve, we change, but what we believe is what we believe because of what we've experienced for the most part, negative and positive. So inserting that into this other space is just really not appropriate, especially considering I don't know a clearer message from these kids than they don't want anything to do with that than this.
Yeah, none of our kids have joined our church.
That's what a gentleman will do, okay?
Yeah, I do feel like we failed. I think we weren't working on our jealousy as much as we should have been. I feel like everybody was kind of looking out for themselves rather than like, okay, how can we build up this group and how can we make a better whole?
If you remember, we talked about the jealousy thing yesterday, which places all of the blame on other people or on yourself, depending on where you're sitting, offers no real resolution, not to mention it oversimplifies a very complicated situation, and they are not unique in this. These problems within these groups and these families present themselves quite often, not to mention calling it a failure. I find it to be an unmitigated success that these children saw what their parents went through and went, yeah, I don't think that's for me. Not to mention the girls can avoid running into, hopefully, a Kody Brown. There are Kody Browns out there that aren't in this group though, so, but then they're gonna have to deconstruct so that they're not attracted to men like Kody Dad or Bio Dad, and then they're gonna have to like unpack that. And anyway.
So how do you feel now, Aurora, that you're dunked?
Now, on that clip, I might be being sensitive, but just the energy they brought towards this, because I have never heard them refer to what they do in their business as dunked. So, I mean, I guess that's what you can call it. You can ask Robin, like, when did you get dunked? Because I was like, I don't think y'all taking this seriously, and this is like such a big thing. All else fails, just match energy, you know what I mean? But then this one clip I wanted to use at the end of this, and we're actually going to go into this more when we finish this up tomorrow. But Brianna's energy, I don't know if people are really picking up on what's going on here.
Well, I think my wedding will be pretty up there.
Really? You can be floating.
As long as I...
enthusiasm.
I mean, isn't that sort of the point? We were raised by you guys.
What does that mean?
Just the experiences and the advice that you've given, we'd be fools to not marry our soulmates. you know? So she will be floating.
Yeah.
You don't.
Well, I
don't
hope you
think?
know.
Aurora, this is gonna be the best day of your life. And she's like, my wedding might be fun also. And just side note, Kody gave me extra. I don't know what is going on there, but there is something extra icky. And that's all I have to say about that. But people are clocking that and they're like, what's wrong with Brianna? What's going on? I feel like that was an early 20-something response when you're being asked to lie. You don't believe what you're saying and you're being That's how I read it. Soulmates had a question mark behind it and the faces and then Robin laughing. I think that they know exactly what's going on behind closed doors and she's like, this is soulmate. Could be totally wrong. I'm not very often, but I could be totally wrong. And so if you have other theories, leave them in the comments. I'm curious because we're just interpreting here. That is it for today and I hope you have a great one and I'll see you tomorrow.